Welcome to Friday. Friday, we got up late, so we skipped breakfast.
Oh, we were supposed to do the antique market that morning too, and
Yeah, we were supposed to do the Bermondsey Antique Market, but we woke up too late because we had pre-booked Buckingham Palace tickets for the tours. So we lined up with everyone else.
that was fun. Oh, we weren't running late.
We were running a little late.
Late for Haley because it says 9:30.
9:30 to 9:45.
And we were there,
And I would, in my head, that means get there at 9.
or 9:15 at the latest.
In my head, it means get there at 9.
And we got there, and there were 9:45s in front of us.
Yeah, 9:45 to 10 o'clock were in line in front of us, which was giving me severe anxiety. But they let us in, no muss, no fuss.
And when they split us up, they're like, "Oh yeah, you earlier people go to the right.
This little holding area.
You 10:45s go over there."
They do make you go through like airport style security. They scan your bags. They make you go through metal detector. I don't know why I keep setting off metal detectors, but I am. It's not like I wear a belt. I wear
It's your
leggings.
watch.
No, I asked them, and they said that the watch was fine.
My watch, it was the one that set it off every time. Oh, my
But it
belt
wasn't a big
set it
deal.
off once. Went through another same detector somewhere else, and it didn't set it off. So yeah, so we went, and that was.
So for the Buckingham Palace tour, you get to tour the staterooms, and they have a special Jubilee exhibition.
And we did the audio book, or the audio version.
We did do the audio tour for Buckingham.
And I would recommend it because there's no plaques.
So the very first thing that when you go in, they had this like hand crocheted Jubilee feast where everything had a little smiley face on it, and it was so goddamn cute. I wanted all of it, and I was like, we pick out our favorite things, and I was like, you know what I really want? I want that sugar cube. I would buy that sugar cube.
Yeah, because little perfectly square white, crocheted, smiling, little black dot eyes.
It was super cute.
And so we went through.
So we went through the blue room, the white room. I really liked that special Jubilee exhibition. The jewels were incredible. I really liked seeing the photographs up close.
And it was the other photographs too of, because they're like every time a photograph set was commissioned, they showed that.
Like for a postage stamp or for the money, they showed the original photographs that they used for that.
And like which ones they presented for the, like say the Royal Post wanted profile. They're like, okay, here's 4 profiles. You get to pick one.
It's also like a really interesting showing the progression of age. It's more a progression on how human beings age when they have unlimited levels of money. And that was just interesting to see, especially they had photos of her last 2 Jubilees and just how much older she's gotten since then.
Well, that and she's just yeah. And
Though go ahead.
I was gonna say, definitely you can see the changing times in each one, and like the style changes drastically, like between them. Like the original ones are so, like the
Serious and austere.
Yeah, I really enjoy who they had. They had a woman who did it, who took photos of them when they were
Like 20 days after her coronation, and they're beautiful photos.
Yeah, there was the same woman did her father's, and the family photo portrait, and it fantastic work. And they brought her back for her coronation stuff.
And I lied about what my favorite part was because I forgot. We actually got to see the changing of the guard from inside Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, so I went through there, and then you come back, and then it's like, because we had originally said, Haley said, you know, it'd be fun as if we were here at 11, we could see the change of the guard, and we look, and it's like, oh, 9:45.
Yeah, 9:45, and we're like, oh, well, we'll probably be in a room at that time. But, like, it was timed perfectly where we got to see them marching by through the arch from the inside instead of from the outside.
There's that first room you enter, right? And then
with all the little knitted things in the courtyard.
And then there's, and then the one room you go in, and you go back up and around, and you come back out. And when you came back out, it was perfectly 11 o'clock, and he's like, there's like guards standing there, and it's funny, it's because you're seeing a very small window of it, right? So you're seeing the 2 guards standing there, and all of a sudden you see guards march by. 1 guard march by. 2 guards march by.
Then the whole band marches by, and then stops right there. You couldn't hear as well as I thought. Honestly, the soundproofing there, very impressive. But every now and then you could hear a strain of it, but it was fun.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that.
I always in my head was like 2 guys would march by, then 1 guy would follow, and it's like, guys, wake up! But it was fun, and we watched them leave, and
They have a fun photo op. One thing also about Buckingham Palace is they don't let you take any photos or videos, and that kind of killed me until the very end of the tour, where they have like a whole photo op set up with with the whole royal family at the balcony looking up at the royal flyover. So we took some fun photos there. Went to the gift shop, which was an expensive gift shop, but they had some fun stuff.
Oh yeah, that was a really good gift shop. It was big.
Yeah.
Very.
We made our way over to the Royal Mews. The Royal Mews is where the stables and horses are kept for Buckingham Palace.
Oh, the exit for it.
No?
Before you get to the Royal Mews, you have to exit through the gardens, and there
Oh,
it's
you
like a
exit Buckingham Palace through the
10-minute
gardens.
walk to the back of the gardens to leave, and it is a trek.
It's very pretty and lovely. There's a pond, things you don't really realize, but it was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable, and then you pop out, and then you have a 9-minute trek back to the Royal Mews.
Mews was the entrance
And that
was on
road,
the other side.
the road there
It's
is
packed.
so narrow because that wall is so pushed so close to the road, and like you're like one lane.
Still kept being worried that mirrors were going to hit me
Yeah,
because
they're
I was
like
walking
coming this
on it.
close, and it's like I was scared, but yeah, we got
But
the
we
Royal
didn't
Mews.
get hit.
Royal Mews
So
is,
Royal Mews, I don't know why Royal Mews is always a cluster trying to get tickets to.
they just don't know how to like. I don't get it.
Yeah, the first time we went to London, we had the London pass, and we were like, oh, that sounds fun. We'll go see the horses. We'll go see the carriages. And I think we waited in line for 20, 30 minutes that time without moving before we just gave up.
Yeah, the lines. It's they have 2 cashiers, so they split the lines up, and you're like, and they just didn't
And it
go.
should just make sense.
They're just
However,
working one customer, 2 people working both working the same amount of time for one customer.
the really big problem
I don't
is that it's secondary sites selling tickets. So when someone says, I have a ticket, I have a timed ticket, and they get up to the cashier, you have to exchange your tickets for the
their
real tickets.
official. Or they were also the customer service troubleshooting desk. So
Yeah.
like a couple of couples in front of us were like, I ordered them from the official site, but I never got my
Confirmation
barcode
email.
email. I got the receipt for payment, but I never got the barcode.
So we were in line, there were maybe 3 or 4 families in front of us. We were in line for over 30 minutes.
Easily.
When ours was just showing the London pass and saying, tickets please.
And like the lady, like there's 2 families in front of us is just nope after standing there for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They were like, this is ridiculous. And they were right by the window too. That's how we got there. If as fast as we did. If those people didn't nope, it probably would have been another 40. It would have
Not
been 45 minutes altogether.
45 total.
Yeah. And so, and the lady's like, by the time we got up there, it was like 12:45. And the lady's like, oh, we only have a London Pass
For
slot
1:15.
for 1:15. And Haley's like, okay, whatever. Well, we have time. It's 30 minutes from now. That's not a very long time. We've been in this line already
Yeah.
for 30 minutes. What's another 30, right? And so the lady's like, that's very cool of you to be so understanding, because
She
everyone...
didn't say anything like that. She gave off that air.
Yeah, because everyone before us was yelling at her.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I don't want to wait another 30 minutes. I have children. Are there any kid things to do? It's just like, there's tons of kid
But
things to do.
then once she printed off the ticket, she said I was able to squeeze you onto the 12:45. Just started in 2 minutes. Very cool.
Yeah. So just be kind. That's what one of the themes of this trip is. Be kind to customer service, and they will
It's
do what they can for you.
got to think about what Walter said. Walter said, if you're going to Europe this summer, pack your kindness and your patience.
And they were, like the trip, like the day before the when we did the tour, that was a bus full of Karens.
It was a bus full of Karens, but they were nice Karens.
Yeah. But they were like, yeah.
A bus cut us off once, and
They were like,
they
we're
were
going
like,
to
"Did
speak
you
to
get
their
their number?"
manager.
You have 13 witnesses. It was funny. Anyway, so Royal Mews, we ended up doing the guided tour for that.
Yeah, because it
Which
started at 1:15, right? Or
I-
no, 1:30?
1:15. No, it started at 1.
Yeah, and we'd been there at 12:45, so we just waited 15. Not even, it wasn't
It wasn't
15.
even 15 because we had to go through security again.
Same security setup
Yeah.
as the...
Same security setup as the palace. They only had 2 horses because they said that the horses are on summer vacation right now, which translates to they're not allowed to keep them in the tiny stables for that long anymore. But
Yeah, because they were built to 1800 standards of 1700?
Long time ago, ASPCA standards.
And it was like, it honestly was not very wide, and they couldn't even turn around. And so they're like, we can only hold these 2 horses because it's the only pins we have that actually meet the standard of what the new laws are in England. So,
which was fine. The guided tour guide was fine. Nothing to write home about. She was nice. It was a 45-minute tour. It could have been a 25-minute tour, but she did provide some good information that wasn't on the placards, so that was nice. I enjoyed the gold coach. I enjoyed the Jubilee coach.
oh my god, the gold coach that thing was next level.
I think
I never have seen something so opulent in my life, I feel like. It just was like,
yeah.
It was just next level. And they're like talking about how any royalty who's ever ridden in it hates it. It's the worst.
They say it's the most uncomfortable thing
It's
ever.
like a bumpy tornado or something.
Yeah, it was very funny. They had from Victoria, from Elizabeth.
And they're like, no, that sucks.
Yeah, they hated it.
Because it's like, it was made for style and like, the suspension is leather straps.
Yeah.
But then we saw the Jubilee one, the one that was created in 2012 for that Jubilee. In that one, like they have like parts of like different ships of great exploration and
just inlaid into it, which is super
battles cool. And like they're like, and this crown is made from this wood. And we also made sure the crown on top of the carriage had a hole in it so we could film the crowds. And I was like, hey, some filmmaker was so happy they got that little... But like, it was done by like, it was...
a lot of thought and care went into it.
Yeah.
But it was very cool.
And it had hydraulic pistons in it so that the ride would be stabilized and like smooth.
They learned from the gold carriage.
And you couldn't even tell. The way they done it, those pistons are inside the body of the thing. And so you're like, oh, don't even know. It was just well done. The people who put that together it was nice. I loved the idea of the nods and stuff. Like they had, like a piece of camp from an Arctic exploration, and it was very cool.
So after the Royal Mews, we went over to Mercado Mayfair for lunch. Mercado Mayfair is a repurposed church that was decommissioned in the 70s. That's now a food hall. It's 3 floors, many different varieties of food.
They have a basement level too, but we didn't go down
that's
there.
3 levels.
4 if you count the roof.
4 if you count the roof, but the roof doesn't have any other food vendors on it.
They have a bar up there.
I know, but I said no food vendors.
Oh, no food, yeah.
So Phil and I split up to each get a different item. I ended up getting handmade pasta, and
I got a pizza.
And garlic bread.
And garlic bread. The most burnt garlic bread I've ever had.
Yeah, but it worked well to have the sauce from the pasta.
Yeah, we combined the 2 dishes and made something even better.
Yeah, it was a great spread. He bought drinks in the nave of the church, which was fun. They fully repurposed that church.
Yeah, the church is like, that was so fun. And then you go up and stairs and like they have all the food vendor stuff there too.
There's so many food vendors there.
It was hot in there though.
It was so hot. Oh my god.
Probably nice and cozy on a winter's day, but like,
I mean, that's the theme of this trip. This city's not built for the heat that we've been dealing with.
They're gonna have to get used to it though. Yeah. What a bummer. But anyways, yeah, so we did that. We did Mercado, and then we left.
After Mercado, we left and went over to St. Paul's. We went to St. Paul's because we had been there on our first trip, but only for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we literally just sprinted through it. I was just like, he was like, why don't we just do it? We have more time.
Yeah, we had the time. So we walked in. It was lovely. The guide that we checked in at asked, are you doing any of the galleries? Which, at this point, our feet are just in agony. And I was like, heck no.
Gallery? Oh, you climbing up?
Yeah, the whispering galleries. And they're
upstairs.
Beautiful, but maybe on a different trip.
Yeah, but then he's like, oh, are you American? Because he heard the American accent. And
he was like, yeah, have you been to the American Gallery? And I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? And he said, go to the very end of the church.
It's closing up soon.
Yeah.
And so we went back there. And something I never knew they had, which they had last time. They've had it since the 50s. But they were to honor the Americans who died defending Britain.
In World War II.
In World War II. They have a book.
It's not just a book. They have a whole chapel
the
back of St. Paul's.
Yeah, it's like the very back of and it's like in defense of, to honor those in the defense who died or were
gave their lives in
the defense of
something of Great
Britannia
Britain.
And Like,
And this is particularly notable because Phil had a great uncle that died doing that. So we found one of the people, because there's a book that lists all the names in there, and it
so
says
there's
see a person for assistance.
well, they have a really nice big version that's like in a glass case that's like open to a random page, and you can't open it or anything. It's just like pretty much there for display, and it's a very
Like a museum piece.
yeah, it is like top quality like, and they're like, and then when you're like, because we had walked by this one thing that said American Honor Roll, seek assistance, and we're like, oh, what is that? Because I had a blanket over it. And we're like, oh. So we went and saw it, and we're like, oh, that's what that is. And I was like, oh, I'd rather, the copy's fine to see. I don't need to take a, like, so I went over there, and he's like, I'm going to go listen to the music, because they had
a live choir singing,
yeah.
and I'm a sucker for
choirs.
choirs.
The quality
the acoustics
of sound.
in there, oh my god. You said you wanted to poke around, and I said I want to go sit for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, because you didn't know about the book yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, you do my thing. And you're like, okay, I'll go sit down.
So I sat for a while, and once I had feeling returning to my feet, I got up, looked around for him, and he was still just waiting there, fluttering around on his phone.
Yeah, I had waited, and a woman had come out, and she was carrying this piece of wood, and I was like, hey, do you have a moment for the, and she's like, yeah.
For the honor roll book.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, just give me a moment, I'll be right back. And she, like, walks away, and that was, like, 10 minutes. I was like,
So then when I found Phil, I was like, oh, hey, he explained the situation. I went over, found a guard, and she looked almost exactly like Moaning Myrtle and talked almost exactly like her too. Similar stature. But Moaning Myrtle came over with me and helped us with the book, and we were able to find his great uncle in there.
a little bit of difficulty with the alphabet, but...
Yeah. I mean, it's not the most common name.
Oh, also she's, yeah, being put on the spot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was fun. Oh, not fun, but... I don't know, fun.
Powerful.
Powerful, there we go. It was intense. It was just like, you see all the names of the book, and then we found my great uncle's name, we always treated my other great uncles as uncles, so I always just think, oh, my uncle. So yeah, so we got that. I took a photo. I sent it to my brother. Took a photo with a good camera, and then yeah. So now I have that.
So then we went down to the gift shop naturally.
Oh, and there's a couple who just stood there like right on top of us, like watching it.
Well, it was something cool.
It was cool, but just one step back, please. It's a moment for me.
So we went down to the gift shop, got our standard stuff, also got a pigeon, which we then took some very fun photos with.
Yeah, it was like a crocheted pigeon like that.
Yeah, so that's going down in our London room.
You didn't mention that we found the crocheted sugar cube in the gift shop.
Okay, so going back to Buckingham Palace briefly, remember when I said that I fell in love with that little crocheted sugar cube? So they sold it in the gift shop, but it wasn't just the sugar cube, it was the whole saucer, teacup, the sugar cube, and something else. It was another tiny little thing. 200 pounds! And I couldn't do it. I wanted it, but I couldn't do it. So I didn't. But I took a picture.
Another notable thing for that is doing the Mews right after that, you learn a lot of the connections, like the same guy.
Continuous history.
Yeah. And like the same guy did one and the other. It was very fun. But yeah, going back to St. Paul's, the gift shop about that, and our standard bag, but like, so we went out front and got some
fun pigeon photos. On our way back, we stopped at McDonald's because we were dying of thirst. And we got some drinks. We also got a snack wrap because we don't have those in the States anymore. And we got...
I've never tried their snack wrap.
The McMayo chicken, I want to say.
Yeah,
but we got it without mayo because I don't like mayonnaise.
Bad call.
Bad call.
Needs something.
We even added cheese because I was like, if they're calling it the McMayo, it's probably going to be pretty dry. Jesus Christ, that was dry, even with cheese.
And yeah, we had the marinara or
the mozzarella sticks. Those were
they're fully filled in there. They weren't like half empty.
When they did the mozzarella sticks in the States, they would just send you out with shells.
Yeah, because it'd all break open.
Yeah.
It'd be in the fryer.
And then the chicken wrap thing was too spicy for him, so I enjoyed it. Our big thing for Thursday night was going to go see Six. Six is a musical that I've become slightly obsessed with the music of because of my Pandora station for musical theater. It's all about the 6 wives of King Henry VIII, their backstories, and it's really good.
It's like a Spice Girls concert.
Yeah, it's much more like a concert than a show.
Very millennial.
There's not a lot in between songs, but there doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
The songs are super high energy, great emotions. Each woman individually is a fantastic singer. I really enjoyed 6.
Yeah, and it's very geared towards millennials. It was very fun.
I would say that the demographics for that show were solidly female and LGBT.
Yeah, it was definitely. And he said it's got the crossover from
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike, yeah. But I mean, it was very good. I enjoyed it.
It was super fun.
Yeah, very high energy, and it's just constantly bam, bam, bam. It's not like a show where you get like those lulls in between, like.
There were no lulls.
Yeah,
Everyone was great.
Yeah, and they're having fun. And
there were no weak links.
They started late too, which is interesting.
Yeah, they started almost 10 minutes late, and then we also had an unplanned interval.
Yeah, so
where Catherine of Aragon ran off stage.
Yeah, in the middle of a song, she just went boop.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't her song. It was Jane Seymour's song.
I didn't even notice her run off. Haley saw it, and because the show normally doesn't have an interval because it's not long enough.
Yeah, it's one of the shorter shows.
But like, so we had an interval. It was like 15 minutes waiting for her to. They're like, we have a
casting issue that we need to sort out.
And then they came back.
They did. She came back. As far as we know, everything was all good. She kept singing her heart out. They were sold out of bags, so if you want a bag, get that first.
Haley was like, when we first got in, she's like, "You want to get the bag now?" And we're like, she's like, "No."
No, we went in, and because Phil collects pins, I was like, I don't know what pin you're gonna want. Let's see the show first to see which one you want the pin for. And by the time that we got out, they were sold out of bags.
And
on the way back to the hotel, we just grabbed a snack, and there was this like sushi roll that said the size of a Big Mac for £3.89 that I had been eyeing.
It said Big Mac meets Itsu or something like that. I don't know what Itsu is, but
it's another restaurant.
But it was like cheap and big, and we had walked by this place several times because it's the Village Road.
On the way to all the theaters.
Yeah.
So we got it, and it was great. It was super good. I wish we'd gotten that other times.
Yeah, the chicken there was pretty good.
Yeah.
And like they had a good chili sauce in it and stuff. It was...
All right, and then we made our way back to the room.